Hello and welcome back to Fata Morgana. This week, we're gonna split things down the middle a little bit, as much as you can split a 5-day week down the middle, and that we'll have a few episodes of Fata Morgana and a few episodes of Who Murdered Sonic. I'm gonna say Sonic the Hedgehog murdered who, but it's actually Who Murdered Sonic the Hedgehog. So, nonetheless. We're back here. Jacopo has just discovered the white-haired girl has already left him. I believe he went on a little bit of a ramble-bamble outside the house he built and then locked her into. And much to his surprise, she eventually just got tired of his shit and left, apparently. Apparently. Now, we don't actually know the fate of the white-haired girl at the moment, knowing this game. Seems like the white-haired girl, every story she's in, seems to, at least from the previous two, end in tragedy. Very specifically, a tragedy that has happened to her. Or that happens to her. I don't know, I felt like I said that weird. But you probably understood what I meant, so let's get on with it. What the hell is this? He was visibly rattled, and unsurprisingly so. The mention of the Transcontinental Railroad's opening ceremony, the letter she had written, her dearest treasure, her profession of love for him, and above all, the mangled text that appeared to have been written by someone not entirely in their right mind. Everything about it served to amplify his befuddlement. What a word. Word of the week, befuddlement. You waited for me? How can that be? The joining ceremony is tomorrow. It hasn't happened yet. Why? Why did you have to leave then? I'm here. I came for you just as I planned. Of course, just as I planned. Not you. The ceremony is on the 10th. A second later, Jacopo gasped. The date written on the letter was the day prior, May 8th. Originally, the ceremony was planned to be held on May 8th, 1869. Nice. 1860, nice. However, due to bad weather and a labor dispute, it had been postponed for 2 days. Ah, this can't be. I made sure you were informed. I had Maria. The madam is having an affair. Maria. No, you could. No, this is the moment of realization. I think he's starting to realize Maria's been playing him for a fool. Scattered fragments of memory began coming together in his mind. Maria was the only one who had informed him of his wife's supposed unfaithfulness. And though the letters had not been addressed to him, thinking back on it, they had all been about him. Specifically when that one letter said something like, "Congratulations on opening the Transcontinental Railroad, Bob." He didn't think that maybe this Bob person was perhaps scribbled out, or replaced the scribbling of Jacopo. In one letter, she had mentioned treasuring a gift. Jacopo had assumed it meant a gift from another man. But in fact, she had been referring to the phenakistoscope, sitting atop her desk, still spinning in the wind. At long last, he finally made that connection. And at the same time, he realized that the only person who could have altered the letters was someone they both trusted, Maria. She never even once betrayed me. She was not unfaithful at all. She waited unwaveringly for me. And I I refused to believe her. I caused her pain again and again. But his realizations came far too late. The white-haired girl's spirit had broken, and she was no longer at the mansion. Had he caught on to Maria's machinations sooner, things would not have turned out as they did, or as they had But he was much too late. Maria! Why? Why would you do this? Clenching the letter from his wife, Jacopo stormed out of the shed in search of Maria. Surely she's in the building, right? But she was not in the room assigned to her. Where are you? Where have you gone? Maria! Maria! Several maids were roused from their slumber by the racket, but no one had the courage to speak up as the master of the house frantically charged through the halls. Eventually, he arrived at his own chamber. He was certain he had closed the door before leaving, but now a sliver of light shone through the gap between it and the frame. From within the room, he thought he could sense someone's presence. Very dastardly presence. When he opened the door, there he saw, comfortably perched upon his own chair, a woman. I've been waiting, Jacopo. Shing. All right. Oh my God. That is the face of evil, I guess. Nice room you got here. Yeah, I mean, you've been in it 1,000 times. Though I guess that's only natural, you being the man of the house and all. All these fancy furnishings. Actually, no, she probably wasn't in the room. She was probably in the, or I guess there was like another common meeting spot. I kind of forgot about that. Sorry. Good old me forgetting plot points of games I take months to complete. You do know this stuff's too good for you, right? And then me, I get that barren little maid's room. Drives me up the wall. So hey, Jacopo. Ooh, she's got a fancy theme to go with it too. Clear the air with your little lady yet? Maria! I love that look on your face. I'm guessing you didn't make things better then? You know, good and well, that she's not even here anymore. Well, yeah, but I still want to hear you say it, you know. I want to hear from your own mouth that you couldn't keep a leash on your woman, so you locked her up, drove her mad, broke her down, and then she ran away from you. Damn. Go on, say something. Climb back onto your high horse and start shouting like you always do. Why, Maria? Why would you do this? Why are your eyes so red? Is that smoke from the beginning of the whole chapter? Why? Why do you think? Because I fucking despise you. Oh, man. I had been trying to figure out how I wanted to end things, but then they just fell apart on their own. The fates are shining down upon me, I guess, smiling. Nonsense! She was waiting for me until the day of the joining ceremony. I was going to see her on that day. You knew the ceremony had been postponed. That's what you get for putting it all in my hands. For thinking I'm the only one on your side. What, did you think I'd just tell her like a good little maid? Well, yeah, it might have been your job, but not a chance in hell. I mean, talk about some fantastic news. You both picked the same day, but you've got the dates different. Absolutely perfect. Maria, is that how you've always felt? How long have you held this grudge against me? I don't know if this has been entirely explained yet, but maybe we're about to get the explanation. How long? How long? How gosh dang dense can you be? Must be nice living in your own little fantasy world, Jacopo. And this is the next cup of Familia. Oh my god, my sides. So you've always hated me? At the very least. I fucking loathe you since the minute we had our reunion. Okay. That would make sense. At first I did try to convince myself you had your reasons. Didn't make it any less unfair, though. You had all your money and all your power and everything else you stole from me. Ah. And then you go and get hitched to this pretty little lady. Oh, don't try to act like you're the victim here. Ah, freaking phone. Stop it. This is all you. Do you have any idea how I felt? Fallen from grace, made your gosh dang maid having to suck up to you? Do you have any idea of how infuriating that was? Or did you think I didn't know anything? Did you think I didn't suspect anything? If you did, then you've got your head way up in the clouds. So you were motivated by... Also, looks like she's like slightly swaying. Like her head is like... I don't know. It looks weird. I don't know if that's going to be picked up on camera, but... the way it's just kind of moving her, I guess, portrait. It almost looks like that. I don't know if it actually is. Particularly looking at her eyes. Anyways, so you were motivated by your grudge against my family, the Berzatis. Precisely. That's exactly it. Your father wanted so badly to be the Capo Familia, wanted so badly to be in power, that he murdered my dad and grandpa. Oh. Oh my god. I am so sorry. They say it was a carriage accident. Ah. So that dream sequence we had probably mimicked that sort of event that happened. But the ground was all torn to hell where it happened. You want to tell me what kind of a carriage accident causes it to explode? As soon as my dad and grandpa died, your dad took over as Capo Familia. The balance of power in the factions began to change. My family, and anyone with ties to the Campanellas, was either exterminated or exiled. The Berzatis took control of the city. My grandpa's Cosca became your Cosca. No one in their right mind would be naive enough to think the Berzatis didn't have a hand in that. The great Campanella family, bitten by their pet dog, except the dog had rabies. And as a result, in time, that lush historic land will wither away and die. My dad and grandpa, buried in that dried up earth, are screaming in their graves even now. You can't prove me wrong, can you, Jacopo? I cannot deny. Things might have been a little underhanded. And now, first in line to be the next Capo Familia is you, his son. Naturally. Feels pretty good, don't it? Slaughtering my family, leaving us to wallow in the mud. While you live here like a fucking king. Because of what your family did, I don't have a home to go back to anymore. No house, no prestige, I have nothing left. And that's gosh dang outrageous. The Campanellas are supposed to run that city, but instead, you filthy Berzati curs are crawling all over it like some sort of infestation. I am a legitimate Campanella, but I'm stuck being your gosh dang maid. If I hadn't been born a woman, I could have become the Capo Familia after my dad and grandpa died. But because I'm a woman, I couldn't retaliate. I just had to sit on my hands and watch the tragedy unfold. It was absolutely miserable. So I had to make you suffer as well. I had to make you twice as miserable as I was. You had no reason to hate anyone but me. Why did you make her part of this? Did you have some sort of grudge against her too? Not particularly. I actually rather liked the madam. Sweet, pretty, kind-hearted, timid, and fragile. Trusted every word I said. A splendid little toy. You thought of her as your toy? Now, can you really call me out for that? You can't. You have no right. Oh, and by the way, you do not have the right. Oh, but you don't have the right. You never cared one bit about anyone else. They're all footstools to you. It's a little too late to find yourself a sense of morality. This whole thing, it could have been avoided if you two just had a single conversation. But instead, the both of you come crawling to me, saying, "You're my only ally, Maria." How dense can you be? Of course, I thought you were my ally. I trusted you, as I'm sure she did too. Then you should get your eyes examined because you can't see a damn thing. Damn, that's like an anti-pickup line right there. Maria. My God, it was beautiful. All right, next time on Hooky Hour, we'll get through more of Maria's explanations, but I think she's made herself pretty clear at this point. So we'll see exactly what she has cooking next time on Hooky Hour. Until then, bye.